And if you want, you can kind of probably look at this as like a sequel to the segment I did last week about how superhero movies, a lot of really bad ones have been coming out this past year. I mean, okay, I didn't see any of the ones I was talking about, but they looked bad is my point. And that's something where I guess you can say that it's not just superhero movies, but it seems the entire movie industry has been having a problem with recently, judging by some of the announcements I've seen, because a good amount of crappy sequels are coming out soon that we have to look forward to. So we'll start with the one I expected least and found out about more recently. But apparently, an Ice Age 6 is going to be coming out soon, and it's in the works. Yeah, the movie series I think holds the record right now for the most unnecessary sequels. We'll be adding to the count soon, And frankly, I only ever saw Ice Age 2 and 3. I don't know how good those movies were overall because it's been years. But by the time of Ice Age 5, they just looked downright awful, I'm just going to be honest, but that's just me. I mean, I remember when Ice Age 4 came out, and I was like 10 years old, and even then I thought it looked stupid. But yeah, it's kind of weird because I'm pretty sure they have the record right now for the most sequels to an animated movie, or maybe tied with something. I don't know. They'll be tied with Toy Story soon when Toy Story 5 comes out. But it's kind of weird because they're always like paper thin premise for movies. They didn't even lend itself to more than one movie, frankly. I mean, I never saw the first one. I didn't know that the second one wasn't the first one until a few years ago when there was the memes about the Ice Age baby. But yeah, so I don't know why any more than one was necessary, but we're about to get to 6, I guess. It was kind of weird also because I saw an announcement where it was just on like the Hollywood Reporter did a brief article just saying it was going to happen, and then like a day later there was some big teaser type thing announced for it. But whatever, I guess it is official. It's going to be happening pretty soon. And also it's kind of interesting because the first Ice Age movie, this is the first one since Disney bought Fox a few years ago because they used to own the rights to this whole thing. So I don't know if Disney is like hurting for money this bad that they have to milk the cow completely dry. But I don't know. Apparently that's the case. That's my best guess for what's happening. And also I don't know for sure if this is true because I never saw it. But didn't it was used to be Blue Sky was the 20th Century Fox animation department. But didn't they do some sort of short about like the squirrel getting the acorn as like their big finale because that was the subplot in those movies? Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that if the story is done, there's nothing more to do with it. But I guess if you ask the people at Disney, they aren't finished yet. And also, I mean, had this been announced maybe 10 years ago, it would have made more sense to me. Because people forget, but the Ice Age movies used to be raking in the cash. I mean, like 2 and 3 I think they were like some of the highest grossing movies of those years. Like, maybe I'm misremembering, but I honestly think Ice Age 3 was like the highest grossing movie of 2009 besides like Avatar. So if Avatar didn't come out, which is the actual highest grossing movie of all time, then an Ice Age movie would be the highest grossing movie of the year. That's just funny to me, I don't know, maybe no one else thinks that's funny, but I think it's pretty funny. But speaking of Disney, that's not the only unnecessary sequel they're putting out yet, because apparently in the near future we have Star Wars Episodes 10 through 12 to look forward to. So according to Deadline, Simon Kinbury, I don't know if I'm saying that completely right, who is the co-creator of the Star Wars Rebels cartoon and the producer of the first 2 Deadpool movies, will write and produce them. So frankly, I never saw the Star Wars cartoon because I'm not 10 years old, and I never saw the first 2 Deadpool movies. I only ever saw the third one, which I think I talked about that I saw on the show before, and I never saw the first 2. I don't know if they're all that good, but that's what his track record is. Also, according to Deadline, it's not known for sure yet if these will be called episodes 10 through 12 or if there'll be some spin-off thing. But all the news I've seen online has been calling it episodes 10 through 12, so that's what I'm calling them. And yeah, so I guess the thing is, the whole thing that was supposed to be special about the Rise of Skywalker being like the big finale is all gone now. They're going to make more. And frankly, I'm kind of surprised they didn't try to do this before because they bought Star Wars for like $4.5 billion. So you would have thought they'd just keep making it until there was no more money to be made. But so I know it sounds like I'm contradicting myself when I say I'm surprised, but I'm also not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, in 2021, which is however, like, because they were doing new Star Wars movies every 2 years, and the last one came out in 2019. If in 2021 they announced Star Wars 10, and it was going to be, coming out then, I wouldn't be surprised. But the fact that they waited this long to do it, that's what surprised me. I thought for sure they were done after 9, but no, I guess. And I guess the biggest problem with this, in my opinion, is if it is going to be episodes 10 through 12, there's basically like no one left in the old crew, I mean, spoilers if you haven't seen them by now, but if you didn't see the new Star Wars movies by now, you never were going to get around to do it. But, Luke's dead, Han Solo's dead, Leia's dead, I mean, and then a lot of the new people are dead too, like Kylo Ren's dead. So who's even left? I mean, yeah, we have the new characters, but I mean, no offense to the actors, but I'm not seeing a new movie that's just about them. You know, besides the fact those movies weren't all that great overall. I mean, I don't think they were the worst thing ever, or even like, frankly, I didn't even think they were like the worst Star Wars movies ever. I mean, some of them came close, frankly, but there's really no reason to see more movies about them, at least in my opinion. Like, I'm sorry. I mean, Star Wars to me, I only really care about Star Wars if it's like Luke Skywalker and Han Solo and Princess Leia and all that, but they're all dead, so there's no point to even see it, or at least one of them. And I know people say it's cool to like have the new characters take over and be the new generation, but no, because Star Wars, like, I'm sorry, maybe call. I know I'm like a good like movie critic or whatever, be able to look past this, but I guess I'm just not one. I mean, I'm not really a movie critic, period. But if I was one, I'm not a good one, I guess, because no, I only care about Star Wars when it's like Luke Skywalker and stuff. I don't care about anyone else. Maybe that's part of why like the prequels don't grab me because he wasn't in it, but I only care about it when it's like the original people. And frankly, I mean, I think there's just too many Star Wars projects coming out, period. Because there's that like Taki Watiti movie. I don't know if I said that right. I'm horrible with names, so probably not. But a new Ryan Johnson movie, a Mandalorian movie, which seems to be the only one's getting any traction here. Any traction here. A Patty Jenkins Star Wars movies and a bunch of other crap that's coming out. I mean, first of all, why are there are too many of these anyway? And second, I mean, it's been years since we had any like updates on these at all. So why are they even coming out? Like, are they even coming out? Are they just canned? I mean, I don't really care either way. But anyway, I mean, I guess I'm assuming this is happening because Disney needs money because these are all Disney properties. And particularly because they put out some movies that haven't done too well. Some of them have just underperformed. Some of them like straight up bombed. But I guess if they're going to go back and make these movies out of desperation, here's to hoping they can make a few bucks on them because God knows they need it at this point. So good luck to Disney on all these sequels they're making, and let's hope that maybe they learn something from Star Wars for Star Wars 10. Maybe it can be a bit of an improvement over the last one.